What a fantastic morning. There's Madagascar. There it is. Madagascar. Very, very nice. There's an island over here as well. I don't know what it's called though. It's here somewhere. Just at the end. There. That island there. Used to be one of the... I think it might be Russian Bay, like. I think that's where all the pirates, Captain Kidd and all that used to hide his treasure all around that area and around Nosy Be. Fantastic view here. What happens to you when you die in Madagascar? What happens? Well, there's a man who lives literally somewhere there, just there. He's got a nice plot of land apparently right on the beach, very, very nice, and he died yesterday. So French guy, apparently his body is going to be flown out the country back to France. How much does that cost? Well, if you haven't got insurance for that, you're looking probably at least 15,000 euros to get flown out of here dead in a box to France. Now, normally, obviously, if you're a tourist and your wife and kids are in France and all the rest, your family's there and you die, you don't want to be buried here, do you? You know, you want to be sent back to France. Personally, I wouldn't care, like, if you disposed of me in the rubbish dump. I wouldn't really care. In Botswana, it's not a problem for me. But most people care about that sort of thing. So I thought I'd do a little video and explain what's going on. This guy here, he's... I don't really understand what's going on with this guy, because he's passed away and his wife lives here. He's got like, he must have like €500,000 worth of development on the beach from what my wife was saying. He's got a nice big house right on the beach, and then behind that there's all sorts of bungalows, there's a swimming pool. It's €500,000 that, minimum. So he's set his life up in Madagascar. He's definitely not just a tourist passing through, getting with a girl. I don't think it's going to be his second wife, like, you know what I mean, where he's got one in France and one here, but it's possible. But he's left an 8-year-old kid as well. Like, kid's not even fazed by his death. He's playing around on the beach, messing around on his phone, laughing and joking, enjoying himself. Hasn't really hit him. Like, his dad's gone, never see him again. But this is the problem, isn't it? You know, you get to like 40, 45, 50, your life goes peak tongue, it goes wrong. In America, Canada, Australia, France, wherever you are, goes wrong, and you think, you know what, I've had enough of this rat race, living in this cold weather. My ex-wife's a bitch. I've had enough. I'm going. I'm done. I'm going to... Where am I going to go? Madagascar. How about Madagascar? They speak French there. It's a French colony, ex-French colony. It's cheap. My wife's just cleared me out of half me assets. I can go there with what I've got left, and I can still have a nice life. Let's do that, and I'll rebuild my life. I'll get a nice, sweet girlfriend, get married, and live happily ever after. Problem is, when you're like 50, you get here, you marry a 25-year-old who's half your age. She gets pregnant when she's 30. You're 55. You have a child. By the time you're 70, your child's going to be like 14 years old or something. And then you're going to die and leaving a 10-year-old, leaving a 7-year-old, leaving a 15-year-old. Vazagasi as well. They're not gas. They're not Malagas. They're not French. They're Vazagas. They're half Malagas, they're half French. And those kids have a hard time, like, especially if they're left with nothing, because most Malagasy, they're not well educated in finance and stuff like that. I mean, most people in the world aren't well educated in finance, but these Malagasy really don't have a clue. Most of them live day by day, and when they get with a foreigner, and the foreigner's obviously going to take over, like I have done with my wife. I've said, this is where we're going to live. I'm going to buy this house. I'll pay the bills. I'll buy the food. I'll look after everything, all the bills. And then when you die, they're like, what do I do now? How do I? Where's the income going to come from? How do I get the money from France? How do I do that? oh my God, this is a problem. What about if his brother wants to claim it's like he's the next of kin, not me, in France, and how do I get there? I need a passport. And what about food money for next week? Where's that? Is that locked in a bank account? Can I get some? And they start to struggle, so they start to sell things off. Obviously, the only easiest way, sell the car. So they sell the car, or they sell the husband's quad. Because I don't want to ride a quad, I like the car. My husband rode the quad. He's got a KTM motorbike. I'm going to sell that as well, so they sell that. They get like $2,000 for that, $3,000 for that. And when they're living a life as a foreigner life, they're obviously spending a lot more. Like, for example, my wife pulls in 2% of what I pull in. So it's a big difference, and it's very hard if you're pulling in like 2% of what the next guy's pulling in, and then the next guy lets you take over his life directly. You can't deal with it. And 95% of them, by the looks of it, go to pieces, and they don't know what to do. They end up selling everything off. They end up with nothing, literally with nothing. Like, they go from having everything to having a hut and eating cassava. It's hard for them. It's very hard for them. Obviously, the best thing to do is to rent things out, to keep everything, to keep everything you've got and make an income from it, and carry on doing what your husband was doing or your wife was doing. You know, your French wife or your French husband was doing. But it's not easy for these people. They struggle with that sort of thing, and normally just go down and down and down and down until there's nothing left. So it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad, like, and I wouldn't want to get a 25-year-old pregnant when I was like 60 or something, just because I wouldn't want my kid to grow up without a dad. It's just bad, you know. There's enough kids growing up without dads who, just through divorce or accidental death and things like that, but when you can physically get a calculator and say, I'll be dead in 15, 20 years, I'm gone for certain. Why get somebody pregnant, like, you know, bring a kid into the world who's going to have no dad? So, there you go. A lot of these people think they're going to live forever. Like, that guy was ill. He got ill, I don't know how long ago, maybe just a few days ago. Doesn't like to go to hospital, apparently. And he died. In Madagascar, I'm one of them. I'm all right. I'll be all right. I just need to stay in bed and relax. I'll be all right. Get me some aspirin. Get me some paracetamol. I'll be all right. It's only a heart attack. It's only a stroke. You know, I'll get over it. And there's a lot of people like that. A lot of foreigners, they come here with the same mentality and attitude as if they're still in Spain. And this is a different world. Africa's a different world. Like, you know, there's so many things that you could catch here, and if you're not quick, you can have a big problem. Like, big problem. You can die easily here. So if you get ill, you gotta go to the hospital. You have to, you know. And I need to start doing that as well. I've been last 10 years I've been like, I'll be all right, but I was fairly young the last 10 years, whereas now I'm starting to get a little bit older. I'm getting close to 50, so I need to, if I'm ill, I need to go to hospital. That's what I need to do. That's what I'm going to do from now on. I don't want to die early, particularly. I'd rather be here for me kids. Hopefully, I'll live to 75. That's another 27 years. My kids will be well old enough to get over the fact that they've lost a parent early. Because it won't be that early, will it? They'll be like 35-year-old, 30-year-old, which is all right. It's acceptable. That's my plan. To live a long time and not die. That's my plan. So there you go. Just thought I'd bring the subject up, you know. It's not all roses, you know. It's not all roses. The other thing is about him dying, like, he died on, like, Saturday night, I think. I think it was Saturday night. And now it's Monday. They're waiting for the embassy to release his death certificate or release the paperwork to say he can be transferred back to France. So he'll be dead for like 4 days, which is sound. It's sound to be dead for 4 days if you've got a fridge to put the body in, you know. But here, there is no fridge to put the body in. The body will be in the living room on a table with a mosquito net over it. wrapped in a blanket with his head poking out, so you can see him basically on display for everybody who wants to come and peer in and have a look. So yeah, not good, and it's gonna start smelling. It's gonna start decomposing. It's gonna stink by 4 days. Oh my god, it's gonna stink bad. So realistically, most foreigners that die here, even if they've got an insurance policy to say, yeah, they can be flown out the country and buried in Paris or wherever they're from, does the wife know what your insurance details are? Does she know how to contact the insurance in France? Does she know how to sort this out when she's just lost her husband and she's devastated on the floor crying? Is she going to be able to sort that out? Likelihood is nope, she's not going to do that. And I should imagine like 95%, 90% of foreigners that die in Madagascar are buried in Madagascar the next day or the day after. Very fast, because you can't keep a body sitting in the sun. It's not a good plan. So if you are planning to live in Madagascar, either get the insurance so that you can get flown out the country for 16 grand when you die, or just deal with it, deal with the situation, accept it is what it is, and be a good lad and get buried in Madagascar. What's the problem with that? Do you know how much it costs to get buried in Madagascar, to have a funeral in Madagascar? Probably about €300. €300. It's cheap. It's very, very cheap. Don't knock it. That's it. Boys are building a wall down there. There's the roof of my house. I'm gonna, obviously, as you can see, we've got a new wall here, and it's quite high compared to the roof down there. It's about a metre higher, so I can literally bring that roof up and put a flat roof on there and make another apartment above the downstairs one. So I've got 2 beautiful apartments. That's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. And once I've got that side wall up there, that neighbour next door over that side is not going to be able to know what I'm doing until it's too late. This guy here, he's 75-year-old, and he doesn't live here. He lives in France. He comes here once a year for 2 weeks at Christmas or something. Now and again he rents his nice little villa that he's got here, just at the back here. He rents that out now and again to foreigners. This wall doesn't cause a problem for his view. My wall, he's still got a beautiful view of the sea from the top of the wall, so it's no big problem. And obviously, like I say, I'll be able to build up that house and make a beautiful apartment with the views that we can see now. I'm happy with that. I'll move in directly. Thank you very much, and rent the one below out. If I'm still alive. Laters, I'm out of here. Give us a sub, check my other channel out, Madda Girls, and I'll see ya in the next one.